Hey everyone, Emeka coming at you from my self-publishing blueprint, and today I'm sitting down with OLLIE L. Gore from Double Your Kindle Sales, and we are going to be talking about book descriptions today. Now, as you know, book descriptions are not the number one, not the number two, but the number three thing that you have to get right before the customer clicks on the buy button. If you're wondering what number one or number two is, it's book cover, and then title, and then, oh, should I have not said that? Book cover, title, and then description. Then they click buy, then you get paid. And if you haven't watched the other videos that I've done with OLLIE, what I'll do is I'll put them all down in the description. These are must-watch videos because these are topics that people don't talk about. And if your book is not selling, it's like almost a 100% guarantee. It's one of the three things that you're messing up. But OLLIE has solved the problem for book descriptions, especially if you were like me and you were in a niche like programming, which is one of the most boring topics in the world. And you're like, how am I supposed to write a book about programming when it's so boring? And all I know how to do with a computer is literally turn it on and film YouTube videos. Well, OLLIE has solved that problem, that you can now write book descriptions for niches that you don't even know anything about. Or if you do know stuff about them, you're going to write better book descriptions that most importantly do exactly what you want a book description to do: sell a book. OLLIE, welcome back.
It's good to be here. It's been too long.
Yeah, I know, man. Hopefully that intro wasn't too long for you.
Nah, if you can turn on a computer, you can learn to program in less than 48 hours.
That might be in one of my descriptions for one of my programming books.
Perfect.
I love it. I love it. All right, man. That's funny. Okay, cool. All right. Let's talk about book descriptions, man. Why don't you kind of lead the way and tell us exactly where are some of the pitfalls that people run into with book descriptions? Why do they really, why can they be so challenging, especially for the people who English is their second language? Because we were just talking off camera that English isn't their second language, or English is their second language. And so writing a book description that's designed to sell a book, you might as well, be taking the SATs. It's just challenging. So.
Exactly. I can't help with the SATs, but I can help with the descriptions part.
Sweet.
So the biggest problem people have, especially if English isn't their first language, is that there's so much freedom with what you can write.
Okay.
So the problems people were running into were, what do I write in this section? What about this section? What do I write here? What are some words that I can use here that are more powerful than certain other words? So I try to just distill down the entire process into absolute, like step by step, follow, use this word here. This word is better than this word. Say this instead of this. And so it just gives people way more of a hard line structure.
Okay.
Because if you're a non-native speaker, then the way you've learned English in school is completely different to the way you're supposed to write English if you're writing something to sell.
Yeah.
And that applies to native speakers as well.
Right.
Like, that's a big problem a lot of people have to overcome, is unlearning everything that they learn in school.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like when you're talking to someone face to face, you're not using perfect grammar.
Right.
You're not using all the sentence structures they taught you in school. You just talk like a regular human being.
I don't think I use any of the sentence structures that they taught me in school any other time.
Exactly. But that's hardwired in your memory.
Right.
So when you're writing, you end up like reverting to that as your default.
Okay. Yeah, no, I could see how maybe a better student than myself would do that. So, okay. So then how are we going to solve this problem with book descriptions?
I've shortcutted the entire process. So what?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Well, I was going to say, like the programming books, for example. I had to hire, like, I went to Upwork and Fiverr, and like I was paying like $25, $50 for per book description. And I get them back, and I would know they're not like, I'm like, eh. And like I was just paying them because it's like, oh, I don't want to try to figure out what it is, but I knew they weren't really good descriptions. And even with students I've coached one-on-one, and they've ran into the same issue with people on Fiverr. It's like, yeah, they write book descriptions, but it's more of what the book's about. It's not why to buy the book. And that's the problem with most of the gigs on Fiverr that are not $300-$400. Because I'm sure those ones, you're probably getting a real book description that's going to sell the book.
Exactly. Like the problem with cheap copywriters is not that they don't have the technical skills. That's part of it. But part of it is that they just won't do the research. Like if someone's going to give you $20 to write a book description, chances are you're just going to smash something out in about 5 minutes. Follow the default structure you have in your head and literally just describe the book rather than sell it. Like I've seen some of these gigs as well. Like you get it back and it's the same as if you have a writing company do the description, and some of them, they send you back a description.
Okay.
And you get it back, and all it does is tell people exactly what is inside the book. Mm-hmm. Say you have a book about weight loss. It says, in this book, we will show you what is weight loss, the benefits of weight loss, why weight loss is right for you. And it's like, okay.
That's exactly why. Isn't that why you shouldn't get book descriptions by writing companies?
1000%.
Like writing companies are like, they're full of writers, but book descriptions, you don't want a writer doing a book description because it's just different. Like
it's a completely different thing.
Completely different type of writing. Like that's why when companies offer writing descriptions, I just like, oh, nah, probably gonna suck. And from my experience, they all suck.
Oh yeah,
right.
It's because there's no incentive for them. Like with a writing company, you have to think what their job is. Their job is to provide you a book.
Right.
It's not their responsibility is over when you have that book. Whether or not your book sells is irrelevant to them.
Yeah.
So that, like, the description is, and plus, if you're the writer, the description is the last thing you write. You're mentally exhausted by that time.
Yeah, true.
You just copy and paste like whatever's there, and then. But a lot of people don't know that because they're just like, oh, there's a description here. I'll just use that.
I never thought twice about my descriptions when I was new, like at all. Like I didn't like the importance of them. I mean,
yeah, I think the first publishing course I ever took before the blueprint, there were no lessons about descriptions.
No.
It was, here's your title, here's your cover, here's your keywords. Put your book online. I was like, but there's a step here.
Yeah, there's something missing here.
Like these are real people on Amazon. Like they have real feelings, real emotions.
It's like, okay, and forgive me for this example, but it's coming to head, and I'm gonna say it. It's like when you tell somebody to get dressed, right? Okay, get dressed. It's like, okay, put on your pants, put on your shirt, put on your coat, put on your shoes. Your book description is your freaking underwear. Right?
Well, that's a great analogy.
Right? It works. It works. So, but
I have to re-record all the lessons to include that now.
Awesome. All right, keep going, man.
So the biggest problem I found people were running into is that it was just taking them too much time.
Okay.
People were saying, I'm spending hours and hours on this, and I'm not even sure if it's good or not.
Right.
And that was the biggest feedback I got, both from native speakers and non-native speakers.
Okay.
It was just that people were spending far too much time, or they were hiring someone and just not getting the results at all.
Okay.
They were hiring these $20 gigs, and what they were getting back was worse than what they could have written themselves.
Okay.
And you don't want to be spending $200 on a copywriter every single book, because that is a significant cost.
Well, that adds $200 to every single book.
Yeah, like if you're publishing 20 books a year, that's an extra $4,000.
Right. And, in the grand scheme of things, like ROI, it's like you'll get it taken care of, but like from profitability, there has to be a
Yeah,
cheaper way of doing it.
especially if you're newer, like that's not something you can really commit
I
to.
don't think new publishers have an extra $200 to fork out for a proper book description.
No,
I
definitely not.
didn't. So, okay. So how are you solving this?
So what I did was shortcut the entire process. So I shortcutted the research process
Mm-hmm.
because that's a big part of it, looking into what customers want.
Okay.
So I went into all the main niches on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
non-fiction, of course, weight loss, investing, business opportunity, alternative health,
Mm-hmm.
self-help. I was like, okay, customers in these niches, what are reasons they don't buy books? And
Mm-hmm.
then I just created a huge list of every single reason someone wouldn't buy your book.
Okay.
And then I just reverse engineered the whole thing. I was like, if you can answer these questions, then a customer will buy your book.
Right.
So can I give an example quickly?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
So in the weight loss niche, customers generally have the same questions about any kind of diet. It's, will this diet be expensive? Will the food be bland? Will I be hungry all the time? Can I still go out to eat with my friends on this diet? Can I eat this food? Can I eat this food? Can I eat this food? If not, what are the substitutes? And it's like, if you answer those questions, then customers are going to see that you actually care about them and that you've thought about this and you're not just some guy trying to sell a book. You actually have some empathy. Not, okay, this book might actually work, rather
Right.
than just, here is a book about the keto diet. The keto diet is a way to lose weight by not eating carbs, because that doesn't do anything.
Right. Okay.
And so
Okay.
it's like, okay, if you can answer these questions, someone will buy your book.
Okay. So the solution then, so you've streamlined this, and this will work for pretty much the niches that you explained.
Yeah.
And so what, like, how long will it take? It's cookie cutter, plug and play.
You can do it. There's a video of me doing it start to finish while talking and in assuming I have no prior knowledge of the niche.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it in 21 minutes using one of the templates I've included inside the course, which is like a fill in the blanks. The structure is all there. You just need to fill in like the blanks for your niche.
And so that could be applied to any niche then.
Yeah. So there's three fill in the blanks. And I was like, okay, this one works for these niches. This one works for these niches. This one works for these niches. If you honestly have no clue what to write, just pull one of those up on the screen, answer these questions, and put them in the template, and it's all ordered.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's complete start to finish. Like, if you write this here, and if you write this here, and if you write this here, then your description will now be better than 95% of your competitors.
Wow. Now, so who's this for then? New publishers, advanced publishers?
So it's for new publishers who have no clue what to write at all.
Okay.
People who just want to save time. Like if you're a non-native speaker and you're spending hours and hours and hours on your descriptions, this will shortcut the process. You will be spending far less time now.
Because they would use, like, I'm guessing, like the fill in the blank one. Would that be the easiest for somebody whose English is not their?
Absolutely. Like my manager,
Mm-hmm.
who's from Bangladesh, he used one of the templates,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't give him any guidance. I said, use this template for this book and just send it back to me and we'll see what it's like. And he sent it back to me and I was shocked.
Really?
I was like, this is good.
Nice.
And like this guy's from Bangladesh. Like English is definitely not his first language.
Right. Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, like I was genuinely amazed. And so if it can work for someone like that, it can work if you're from Holland. It can work if you're from Scandinavia. It can work if you're from Eastern Europe or the Philippines.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. What else is inside? What's got 1 hour book descriptions?
So I've also included different templates for every part of the description. For example, it's like, okay, your headline, you have no idea what to write. Here's 2 templates you can use in absolutely any niche. Just fill in the blanks. And then that's there for every single section. So there's 2 headline templates which work every time.
And the
3,
headline, just in
yeah,
case people don't remember, it's the part before the read more, right? Like the first
yeah,
1 or 2 lines
above the fold, yeah.
above the fold.
It's the part that every customer is going to see,
Yeah.
but it's your opportunity and your only opportunity to hook them in. Say, oh, this is something that's relevant to me. This is interesting.
Right.
Like, I'm going to click that read more button and then I'm going to read the whole thing. But if you get that wrong, which a lot of people do, then they don't even have a chance to read the rest of your description because they just click the back button straight away.
Right.
And with AMS as well, whenever someone says, oh, I'm getting tons of clicks on my ad, but no one's buying it, that's probably what it is. Like, your headline just isn't good at all.
That's really interesting. Okay.
Because I'll just go back to the AMS thing. Customers who find your book via AMS, they've already had to take an extra step in the process. Like, if they're scrolling down and they're like, okay, they've seen this book and it's like, okay, sponsored, click on that. They're like, okay, they're interested now, but they're not just going to click the buy button straight away.
Right.
Like, they have to read the description.
Yeah.
And if the description is not good, you're spending money for them not to buy.
Right.
So like your ads will just convert so much better.
That's good. Okay. What else?
So I've said, okay, these are the main objections customers have.
Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. I've given examples of how different books can use those. I've given examples from outside of Amazon as well. Like, one of the lessons, I go on ClickFunnels page and I say, okay, this is what they've done here. And this is why this works. And this is how you can do it in your book descriptions. So there's an entire lesson about how you can use numbers in your descriptions to drastically increase response, because people respond to numbers so much better than they do to words.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's something I've never thought about before.
But it's something you did, because make your first $1,000 online is so much more powerful than make some money on the internet.
Okay, never thought about it with my books.
It's like a copywriting superpower.
Right.
That's actually the name of the lesson. Because it just helps readers in their brain. It gives them like a shortcut, because it allows them to imagine something much more clearer than an abstract concept like make money, for example.
Right. Yeah, no, I see how that would work.
Yeah. And then there's a cool example in the course of one of the pages on ClickFunnels websites, and they use numbers 9 different times in like one paragraph. But each one has its own place, and each one is there for a reason. And it just convinces you, the reader, that this is so much more credible now. And this can benefit you in so many more ways than just saying, hey, this is ClickFunnels. It's really cool. It will help you build a website. But it's not really a website builder.
No. That's interesting.
Yeah, and there's like tons of examples of like different books on Amazon, different stuff outside of Amazon, how different companies have used it.
Cool. So,
and then I've got
go ahead.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Not done yet. And then I've got some critiques of other descriptions. Like, okay, this is why this one works. Here's what this author did here. Here's how you can use that in your description. Because there's one very popular fitness author. You've probably heard of him, Michael Matthews.
Yeah, he's massive on Amazon.
Yeah, he's maybe like one of like the top 3 or 4 self-published authors on the entire site.
Yeah.
And his descriptions are always on point.
Yeah. I've looked at some of his before. Yeah,
they're absolutely perfect. So like in one video, I go through one of those line by line. I'm like, okay, this is why this works. This is what he's done here.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then just reverse engineered the whole thing. And it's like, okay, here's how you can do the same thing, even if you're not a fitness author. Here's how you do this in self-help, for example. Here's how you would do this in dating.
So these principles are going to be able to be used across the board, no matter what
Yeah,
niche you're in.
the principles don't change. If you're in any non-fiction niche and the main point of your book is to solve a problem,
Mhm.
then there's a step-by-step process you can follow to get there.
Love it. Love it, man. Love it. All right.
Less work for everyone.
So is it out? Is it open yet? Or
By the time this video goes live, it'll be out. So you guys are probably watching this on Wednesday the 14th. It'll be live.
it'll be live. So I'll have a link in the description. And what I'll do is, if you grab the link, in order to help you out, I'll give you a month of free coaching with me through the Accelerator. And so you'll email me that you purchased, and I'll give you a coupon code to get your first month's free with me, so I can, give you a helping hand to get going. Cool.
Of course. Save some time.
Save some time. Yeah, exactly.
It's the most
right?
important thing you have.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, Ollie, thank you so much, man, for taking some time out of your busy
Always.
schedule. You said it's like 5:30 a.m. over in, I don't even.
Where are you now?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm back in Thailand now, and it's just past 6 now.
You're back in Thailand. All right.
I started in darkness, and now the sun's come up. So
excellent. And excellent, man. And links for Ollie's channel and those videos that I've done with him are all going to be down in the description as well. Till next time, speak to y'all soon. Take care.
thanks, man. Thanks for having me.